There is little room for innovation when you prepare your resume. Recruiters are used to seeing more or less the same structure and expect you to adhere to that. In this lesson, we'll go through some of the best practices that will help you create a great resume. The number one rule is keep it concise. You don't want to irritate the person who will read your resume before he's actually read a single word. In most cases, junior candidates are expected to submit a single-page resume. Remember that point very well. Some recruiters would go as far as to only read one-page resumes. Write clear sentences that express the point, and one page should be enough to fit your relevant achievements if you have less than 5 years of work experience. It is important to keep your resume updated. Imagine the following situation. You're at an interview telling that you enjoy participating in your university's investment club. The interviewer looks at your resume, as usually happens, and points out that this is not written in your resume. Then you would have to explain that you joined the club a few months ago and hence the resume does not contain such recent information. What do you think the recruiter would think? Yes, he'll probably wonder why you did not submit an updated resume. Was it because of lack of interest in the position? Or because you are not a detail-oriented person? In both cases, that's not a very good impression to portray. Keep your resume updated in order to avoid a similar situation. We already talked about the importance of job descriptions. Well, this is your first chance to stand out from the crowd. Make an impression by following this unique plan of action. Read the job description well and create a list of keywords that describe the perfect candidate. Adapt your resume accordingly. You should customize your resume for each company that you are applying to. Optimize your resume for SEO purposes. Yeah, that's right. Many recruiters filter resumes by keywords. Make sure that your resume contains keywords that are part of the job description. Generic resumes that you send to all companies aren't a good idea. You can attract attention much more easily if your resume is tailored according to the position that you are applying for. This would give you the possibility of emphasizing one or two strong selling points that are specifically valid for the job you are applying for. For example, let's say that you are applying for a job with a company that is known for its team-oriented culture. You can include several specific examples that show you worked with groups of people and you value teamwork. Your generic resume does not contain this information. Are you going to attract attention if you insert it? Yes. The best thing that you can do is to adjust your resume for every position you are applying to. It may take longer, but each application will be much more personalized. A very efficient way of standing out and making an impression is to quantify your achievements. Provide proof to the readers of your resume that you achieved something important. It will make a positive impression. Everybody likes concrete facts. Start with an active verb. Measure what you accomplished, provide a baseline for your comparison, and specify what you did to achieve your goal. Consider the following two descriptions. Graduated from the London School of Economics with excellent grades. Graduated from the London School of Economics with an excellent degree in the top 10% of a class of 120, accomplished through performance in financial math, corporate finance, accounting, and other subjects. The second one is better, right? Specifying that you were in the top 10% makes the statement more powerful. Adding 120 anticipates the reviewer's question whether 10% is significant or not. Explaining that you excelled in certain subjects emphasizes your strengths. So keep that in mind and try to think how you can quantify your achievements. You can always use the following formula. Achievement plus numerical measurement of the achievement plus efforts in order to accomplish the achievement. The interests section of your resume is more important than most people think. In the first place, it tells a lot about your personality. Are your interests passive or active? Watching movies, going outside with friends, playing video games, against traveling to new places, participating in chess tournaments, and co-founder of my college's investments club. The second set of interests sounds better, right? It involves group activities, shows leadership and intellectual qualities, and gives a more favorable hint about the person's personality. It is not as generic as the first one. Everybody likes to watch movies and play video games. Try to think of something that separates you from the crowd. If you played any sports, I highly recommend you add that to your interests. People who were trained in a given sport tend to be outgoing and disciplined. Moreover, it is very likely that some of your interviewers played that sport as well, and this automatically creates a connection. People tend to like other people who are similar to them. The truth is that top executives don't just want someone who's qualified for the job, they also want someone who will be interesting to spend time around with. The interests section is a great opportunity to find a common topic. Some employers ask for references. They want to learn firsthand how you performed and what the impression is that you made at one of your previous jobs. Ideally, you manage to relate to a high-ranking person, and that person is ready to vouch for you. Anyone with the word manager in his job title will do the trick. One thing that you should always do is talk to the person before listing them as a contact of reference. You don't want them to be surprised by the call from your interviewers. It can give a bad impression. Usually, most people write something like references available upon request at the end of their resume. That should work pretty good for you, as there is no need to list your references if the person who's reading the resume does not need to contact them. Make sure that you keep in mind these guidelines when you prepare your resume. All the recommendations are valid, specific, and easy to implement. You will be head and shoulders above average candidates.